Shalom, welcome back. First and foremost, I want to give all glory, praises, and honors to Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Shai. I want to give double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone, and salutations to your Aggie pushing this word in sincerity and in truth. Back with another lesson. Today, I'm just going to touch on a lot of things that's been going on in politics and going on in the economy with these tariffs. All right, because we really could be close, closer than ever, on the verge of the end of Mystery Babylon, good old America. All right, this is it is quite evident if things don't go the way Donald Trump is trying to get them to go, meaning he's playing basically a game of chicken, right, with the world right now. You know, when you have two cars speeding towards each other and you're waiting to see who's going to swerve first, right? So he's the threat of tariffs, the tariffs being implemented, and he's waiting to see how these other countries are going to respond. And if they don't respond the way that he thinks they're going to respond, this place is out of there. But the first scripture I'm gonna grab is Romans 13 and 11. I'm going to be reading off the computer. It says, "And that knowing the time, that now is high time to awake out of sleep, for now is our salvation nearer than when we believed." Right? The night is far spent, the day is at hand. Let us therefore cast off the works of darkness, and let us put on the armor of light. So, this is a time where we increase in our faith. This is a time where we get stronger. This is a time where our focus locks in even better, because this place could really come to a halt. All right, if this thing don't go the way that the Trump is planning on the way this thing is going, because America is a consumer nation, man. All right, and I'm gonna get some of those scriptures dealing with that. And these other countries sells their goods to us for us to consume and for us to buy. And when he marks up their goods where people don't want to buy them, or they can't make the money that they're used to making, not only America, but these other countries can go into basically a death spiral, and you're going to have a global crash, man. All right, a global crash. You know, for example, when it comes to automobiles in America, a lot of people buy Japanese cars because they're more dependable, so-called Toyota, so-called Honda. Then you got Mazda and Nissan to a lesser extent. But if you put 30%, 25% markups on these vehicles, and Japanese is used to a lot of their GDP, or the money they make as a country per year, they're not making that anymore, it's going to be a problem. So these trade wars can lead to real wars. All right. So like I said, we are in some very exciting times. The first, the second scripture I'm going to grab is going to be into, we're going to get into the book of Revelation. This is Revelation chapter 18. And I'm going to start at the ninth verse, because this is how far the beginning of this right now, it can take it to this prophecy right here. This is where it's going. All right. You're seeing how it's starting, and you can see where it eventually it's going to go, where America is going to have a fallout from being partners and being on the same in the same confederacy, in the same grouping as these other countries, and we doing deals and this and that. Because now what's being pushed now is protectionism. I'm just worried about me, the hell with everybody else. And that can fuck up a lot of things, because there's a lot of moving parts and pieces in how the economy, moves products from A to B, right? This is Revelation 18 and 9. "And the kings of the earth who have committed fornication and lived deliciously with her shall bewail her and lament for her when they see the smoke of her burning." And this is speaking about Mystery Babylon, aka America, "standing afar off for the fear of her torment, saying, Alas, alas, that great city Babylon, the mighty city, for in 1 hour is thy judgment come." and the merchants of the earth shall weep and mourn over her, right? For no man buyeth their merchandise anymore. So, like I said, this place is a consumer nation, man. All right. And if we're not buying that merchandise from these other countries, who are they going to sell it to? They can try selling it to each other, but they might not get the revenue from as they would get selling it to Americans because of the dollar, the strongness of the dollar being a dominant currency. Like I said, there's a lot of moving parts. So with Trump doing what he's doing and isolating America, it's going to lead to what? Dire consequences, right? It says the merchandise of gold and silver, precious stone, of pearls, fine linen, purple, silk, scarlet, and thine wood, all manners of vessels of ivory, and all manner of vessels of most precious wood, and of brass, and iron, and marble, cinnamon, and odors, and ointments, frankincense, wine, the oil, the fine flour, wheat, beasts, sheep, horses, chariots, and slaves, the souls of man. Right? Let's jump down. This is going to be Revelation 18:16. And saying, alas, alas, a great city that was clothed in fine linen and purple and scarlet and decked with gold and precious stones and pearls, for in 1 hour so great riches has come to naught. And every shipmaster and all the companies and ships and sailors, as many as trade by sea, stood afar off and cried when they saw the smoke of her burning, saying, what city is like unto the great city? Right? And it says, and they cast dust on their head and cried, weeping and wailing, saying, alas, alas, a great city wherein we were made rich, all that had ships in the sea by reason of her costliness. For in 1 hour she is made desolate. So the golden goose is finally going to be put to bed right here. All right. Verse 20. Rejoice over her, thou heaven, and ye holy apostles and prophets, for the Most High have avenged you on her. Right. So this place is going to be taken down, and we're going to be excited. Like I said, we live in very exciting times that the Lord is fulfilling his prophecy. All right. So America don't win in the end. Sorry to spoil the movie, you know, but people are going to be, well, these nations, heathen nations, are going to be mad and upset like they are right now after Trump came out and made that made that statement on April 2nd, Liberation Day, and he had that cardboard cutout of all the taxes he was going to put, all the levies, all the tariffs he was going to put on all these other countries. Why? Because they sell their product here. Everything that you have in your home, everything when you go to the store, turn it over and see where it was made. All right? It wasn't made here. Because if it was made here, you got to pay what? You got to pay American people American wages, which is going to increase what? The cost of those products. So everything is going to get exponentially more costlier, all right, more expensive. But from there, let's go to this real quick. Obadiah 1:7. It says, all the men of thy confederacy have brought thee even to the border. The men that were at peace with thee have deceived thee and prevailed against thee. And they that eat thy bread have laid a wound under thee. There is none understanding in him. So all these nations, like I said, that deal with America, have agreements with America, and they see what Trump is doing. They're like, okay, we got to deal with America on a differently now, man. All right, and a lot of these countries are nuclear countries. They have nuclear weapons, and eventually that's going to play out through the scriptures on how you're going to have World War III. You're going to have nuclear countries aiming their nuclear missiles at America. That's gonna happen, man. That's how Mystery Babylon, also known as America, becomes the world's biggest desert, as prophesied in the book of Revelation. That's how it happens. Like I said, we are in the beginning stages of that. All right, these countries becoming like, what the hell with America? All right, even though they know their livelihoods depend on it. All right, that's why everybody is freaking out over what happened to stock prices, what happened to when he made that announcement about the tariffs, man, because the world is interconnected right now. All right. Slacky. Let's jump into the book of Jeremiah, the 50th chapter. I'm going to jump around in this chapter, right? This is Jeremiah chapter 50, verse 9. For lo, I will raise and cause to come up against Babylon an assembly of great nations from the north country, and they shall set themselves in array against her. From thence she shall be taken. Their arrows shall be as a mighty expert man. None shall return in vain. Right? So you got to understand that these other countries are gonna come against America, man. All right, let's jump down to verse 13. Because of the wrath of the Lord, it shall not be inhabited, but it shall be wholly desolate. Everyone that goeth by Babylon shall be astonished and hiss at all her plagues. Right? So the great place where people made fortunes off of, these other nations, they made their money off of, they sold their products in, right? They're going to be moved because what America is doing, it's going to affect their citizens. It's going to affect their bottom line, right? So Trump is really disrupting everything, man. And he's a perfect guy to bring these prophecies, manifest these prophecies in real life as you see it happening. Let's jump down to Jeremiah 50. And sometimes in Jeremiah, it reads between future prophecy, and sometimes you might actually be in ancient Babylon when you're reading about it, dealing with Nebuchadnezzar. But then it will jump to future prophecies of Babylon, which is talking about America. So if you're not seasoned, some of it will throw you off. This is Jeremiah chapter 50. And let's read 29. It says, call together the archers against Babylon, all ye that bend the bow, camp against it round about. Let none thereof escape. Recompense her according to her work, according to all that she have done. Do unto her, for she have been proud against the Lord, against the Holy One of Israel. Therefore shall her young men fall in the streets, and all her men of war shall be cut off in that day, saith the Lord. Right? Behold, I'm against thee, O thou most proud. And this is a proud ass fucking place, man. Extremely proud, extremely arrogant. But that's the countenance of these Edomites out here, man. All right? Extremely, basically walk around with their noses in the air. They can do no wrong. Everybody's beneath them. But the Lord is going to change. And he's going to change all that around, man. All right? He's going to change all that around. It says, where was I at? Behold, I am against thee, O thou most proud, saith the Lord, power of hosts, for thy day is come, the time that I will visit thee. So that's pretty much going to be the point. This place is going to be destroyed in a major way, and with what's going on right now with Trump, hoping that these heathen countries, not heathen countries, these other countries play ball with him, basically with his threats, come back and negotiate where they drop their tariff and we drop our tariff. That's what he's hoping. That's the outcome he's hoping for. But if these other countries would be like, man, fuck America, we gonna deal with each other. We gonna trade amongst each other. We gonna sell to each other. Let America, basically let America suffer. All right, it's gonna be some problems, man, because all sides in reality will lose because of that, man. All right, but we are in the spirit of the Lord, know that this must happen, and we're praying that the Lord delivers us out of this when this thing goes down, man, because all these trade wars will ultimately lead to violence, man, and destruction. Okay, so you can understand. All right. So like keep your eye on the news, stay prayed up. I want to give all glory, praises, and honors to Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. And shalom the next time.